I thought my immune system was better by then, but after overdoing myself and getting too active, I took 2 steps back and fell sick again. Things never go as smoothly as you hope it would. You always stumble at some point in your life, and that's a fact. From financial, health, relationships, or anything else, you're going to be tested and dealt a bad hand. Whether you react positively or negatively despite the situation is up to you. We all know that this year has been terrible, and everyone says 2021 is going to be better. But the reality is, going from the 31st of December to the 1st of January isn't going to flip a switch. What I've learned this year is that how you react to conditions and navigate circumstances can keep you in a positive headspace. My biggest setback for 2020 has been my health. Just as COVID was spreading and reached New Zealand, I got quite ill and spent most of lockdown fighting a constant cold. I even went to get a COVID test because I was concerned for my health and obviously didn't want to spread the virus if I had it. Side note, if you haven't had a COVID test before and you're wondering what it's like, just imagine having a nasal colonoscopy. I'm pretty sure that swab made contact with my brain. Definitely wasn't pleasant. Fortunately, my test result came back negative, but there was still the issue of me being sick. My immune system seems to be quite compromised, and for 4 to 5 months I was feeling pretty run down all the time, and I was even bedridden every 2 weeks or so. This produced an on-flow effect where I couldn't exercise, and all I was doing during the period of lockdown was pretty much sitting in front of a screen and snacking a lot. I thought to myself, it'll be fine. I won't be seeing anyone for a couple of months. I can indulge for a bit. So it's embarrassing for me to say, but I actually gained a lot of weight during this period. I got up to 96 kgs, which is the heaviest I've been, and pretty bad for my height. Previously, I've reached that weight before, and at that time I did a body scan, and I remember that it said that I had the health of a 42-year-old. With the added kgs, I also put on emotional weight, and my self-esteem declined a bit. There's definitely a correlation between physical fitness and mental fitness, and it's important to stay on top of it all. So this was my biggest challenge and setback for me in 2020. I know I'm not the only one that went through similar experiences, and so I'm sharing some tips that can help equip you with fighting setbacks as well as perceived failures. Tip 1. Externalize yourself from the situation. Often when something negative happens, it's easy to victimize yourself and get caught up in the situation. You over-worry about what has happened and you doubt the control you have over your life, losing motivation to push back. In terms of my situation, when I got sick, I didn't have the energy or motivation to try and help myself recover and improve my well-being. Only about 5 months I had to make a decision, and I was able to take myself out of my situation and think externally, okay, Jeremy, you've been sick for ages, you haven't been able to exercise and your fitness is declining. Let's try and find a solution for this. I'm happy to say that I was able to pick myself up and I found the right supplements to improve my health. And I was able to take small steps to get back into my fitness. It was not an easy road, but I'm much healthier and content with where I am at the end of 2020. Tip 2. Avoid unhealthy behaviors to reduce pain from your situation. This one is huge, and adjusting this behavior can do wonders for you. If you're like me, and most of you watching are human, I think when we go through a negative experience, we like to find comfort in the form of a vice. Fortunately, I don't drink alcohol or do drugs, but a common vice that I have is comfort food, which is probably sometimes worse than the former. More often than not, when I'm feeling down, my bad habit is to turn to junk food. Something greasy or something sweet, just for that little boost of dopamine to the brain. But you don't realize the cost of enjoying that junk food. I count numerous times where I was in a fitter state and getting sick put me on tilt. I would break my healthy habits and just try to recover with food as if carbs were part of my prescription. So reducing unhealthy behavior to reduce pain means you can recover from your negative situation faster. Tip 3. Acknowledge that having a setback doesn't mean you're a failure. It's common for people to hit a wall and they think they've failed. They've given up way too easily. I hope you're not lactose intolerant, because what I'm about to say is quite cheesy. Fail stands for the first attempt at learning. Whatever happened or happens to you, just know that you can always bounce back. Take time to acknowledge your misstep and allocate a short time frame to be upset if you need to dwell on the situation. After that, move on and start making small steps at the next attempt. Back when New Zealand went down from level 3 to level 2 lockdown, it was great news for everyone, and the country was excited to get out and about. I thought my immune system was better by then, but after overdoing myself and getting too active, I took 2 steps back and fell sick again. Tip 4. Be constructive and learn from setbacks. Every setback brings you an opportunity to grow. As a friend once told me, you never make mistakes, you only pay for lessons. Whether it teaches you what to do next time or gives you drive for the next attempt or goal, work on channeling that energy and put a positive twist on it. A recent example of this for me is that I ordered a large computer monitor. It arrived on the Tuesday, I set it up on the Wednesday, and unfortunately I broke it on the Thursday. Now this monitor cost me $900 and I don't take that amount lightly. It's not something I can just brush off and not care about. What I learned from this is not only how fragile technology is, but how to channel negative energy and put it to good use. After I broke the monitor, I had feelings of anxiety, regret, and desperation. Fortunately, I used that desperation and it gave me drive to work hard and earn back the cost of what I lost. I generated new jobs for my freelance multimedia business and it would have led me to one of my busiest months to date. With a proper perspective, you can bounce back from any situation. Tip 5. Listen to your body both physically and mentally. It's important to listen to your body both physically and mentally. If one of these is off balance, then it's likely that the other will soon follow suit. If you're sick, take the time to recover. Working through could ultimately set you back further than you were originally, as I have learned myself. In terms of mental health, it's way too easy to neglect and dismiss your feelings. Remember that there are always friends and family that care about you and are willing to talk to you. Also, there are organizations that are there to help and assist. I hope these tips help you go forward into 2021. Thank you so much for listening and have a happy new year. See you all in the next year.